This is an abandoned ranger house, at one time clean, habitable, but now left to the monkeys, rats, spiders, and bats. I'm putting my fire right in front of the only door in an effort to ward off tigers from coming inside after me. Without it, there's no door, and nothing to stop the curiosity of a big cat. Sometimes a ready-made shelter or cabin can have food and supplies. Other times, they're barely worth using. But I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. There's lots of wood to scrounge. It's been over 9 hours of mountain hiking, and I've got to somehow gain back a lot of lost energy.
Still split wood even when you don't have an axe. Now these old sheep huts, some of them are active and you might have a shepherd to come along. Many others are, like this one, abandoned. And there may not be somebody back here for a year. There's no guarantee that you're going to be rescued, but a good place to pull into and to survive if you have to, at least for a while, because you've got some protection. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. Come on. There you go, there you go. Give it a little bit of oxygen. Probably the hardest thing to do is to patiently light a fire when you're cold and exhausted. Now, it's fire time, and I've only got one paper match. There you go. If I'm very, very careful, I can split it right down the center, turn it into 2 matches. Okay. See? And then get it down to the end here. It's the tricky part at the end, because you want the match head to actually split off. Okay, there we go. 1 match has now become 2. Woo! Yes, indeed, it worked. Look at that. And that's all it took. Just split the 1 match in 2, and instead of being left with 1 match to survive, I have 2. And I have fire. There's a lot of this around. There's cattle dung and sheep's dung, goat dung, and all of it can go on the fire. It will finally help to get rid of these flies. Just like it does all around the world. Dry cattle dung works real well to get rid of flies, and I have no idea why. It just does. Well, first things first, I want to get a substantial fire going in case it does come on to rain. I can tell my patience is just shot from being physically exhausted. I got the flint striker and this and that, but I don't have the patience to even pull it out. I just got the matches here. I'm just going to use the matches. It would be better to save the matches, because you never know how long you're going to be out here for and how many of these you just might need. And if I can get fires going alternative ways that last a very long time, like using a flint striker, it's actually better. I'm just tired, burned out, and have no patience for starting the fire that way. I don't know what else to say about that.
Fear, exhaustion, pain from injuries, being too cold or too hot. These and many other issues will cause us to make a wrong decision during a survival ordeal.
I'm doing it again. I have to listen to the wise words of Les Stroud. You sweat, you die.
Joe makes another mistake, and one that can cost him dearly. He's not familiar with using a flint striker, so instead of using the axe blade, he hits it with a rock.
The flint stick broke. See if I can improvise with it now.
I take for granted skills that over many years have simply become a part of me. Observing Joe is reminding me of how uncomfortable or even miserable survival can truly be.
I'm not hearing a lot of cracking or breaking the branches, so I'm assuming he's pretty settled. But I don't smell any wood smoke either. How are we doing here?
Doing okay. Trying to get this fire going, as you can see. Boom.
Ooh, that's not a good sign.
No.
Yeah, all flint strikers, especially when they're the tube type, the pressure on them is important because if you press down on them, you snap them like a wood dowling. Yeah. That's one of the thickest strikers you can get. A lot of them are much thinner and smaller, so it comes down to going with the slide. You know, making sure you get the slide right, sort of thing.
I was kind of bashing it. What is the best rock to use the flint against? Or what should I use the flint against?
The blade of the axe.
The blade of the axe. Would make sense.
Yeah. But for now, I'll leave you to the night.
All right.
You got that one bit of knowledge about using the axe instead of a rock. All right, Joe. Good luck. Joe's pretty, well, he's nowhere near as far along as I was hoping he was going to be. He's got nothing to sleep on the ground. Clothing that's going to keep him a bit warm until it's, until we get into the middle of the night. He broke the striker because he was using a rock instead of the hatchet to get the spark. And although now I've told him what to do, how to get a better spark with that little tiny bit he's got left, he's using tinder that isn't really going to catch a spark very well. He's going to have a tough night, maybe even a miserable night. Try this again tomorrow night, and I'll give him some tips. And you kind of have to go through a night like that to understand why you want to take care and make sure you're covered the next time you have to spend a night out in the wilderness alone.
Well, I'm getting a lot more sparks now that Les told me to use the blade. I'm going to keep trying. I finally got a fire going, but I'm exhausted. That's not easy at all.
Well, my young apprentice got his fire going. And he's got something to be very proud of, because that couldn't have been easy. But that means I can do the same.
But we'll get to work instead and utilize the advantage of being a team of two that can work together to procure survival for the night.
Got something? Yeah, I had one lighter with fuel and one lighter with spark.
Our first issue is fire. We have lighters, but they become soaked by immersion in the ocean.
Careful, don't pull away quick. Gentle. I need husk. Lots of husk. Why I got these big chunks on here? That's not going to do us any good at all right now. It's got to be all small, light stuff.
Even with Bob's inventive technique of using one lighter to spark the other one's fuel, he still missed one important beat, kindling preparation. So I'm kind of jumping on his case to make sure we have the fire we need to keep the damp ocean night chill away for the next 10 hours.
You got to, there's nothing there that's really going to catch. All right, small twigs, nothing too big, nothing too big. We got something happening here. Okay, so let's speed on this guy.
Bob's got it now. He's just going to keep feeding twigs and branches onto it. Bob's really good at getting the fire going. At his cottage out here, when it's so delicate like that, it's a different story. You've got to start off so tiny all the time, small, 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 and work your way up until you really have a base. But the brilliant thing Bob did was, which I never even considered, was we had one lighter that had fuel that would come out and the other one that still had a spark but no fuel. So you use the spark from one lighter to light the fuel in the other lighter. And as far as I'm concerned, that was brilliant.
I kind of assumed that husk was going to grow like crazy.
No, the husk won't flame. It'll only hold the ember. That's why it's a great way to carry fire. You got to have something else to catch the flame. You got her now, buddy.
Even though it's the tropics, fire is still a vital necessity. Plenty of sheep and goat herders have walked this area along with the wandering sadhus, and after 1,000 years of forest traveling, their evidence is everywhere.
Huh. Look at that. I know what that is. Okay, this is actually, it's a fire carrier. That's what it is. It's dung that's been dried and squished together, and put the coal in there. You can see there's other sort of nomads that have been here. You see this? This is that's a big torch. I'm not going to take that torch on them. Whoever it is, they might be planning on coming back for it.
I'm in the jungles of India, in the heartland of an extremely dangerous female tiger known to have killed 21 people this year alone. So it behooves me to carry with me all the protection I can from both the tiger and the wandering packs of elephants, which are, in the eyes of the locals, far more dangerous. Carrying my fire with me serves two purposes. One is that I don't have to try to start a new one if it came on to rain, and two is that the smoke helps to ward off predators or ornery elephants, and it's the elephant dung itself that I can use to carry the fire.
There we go. That's about all I really need to do. That paste is going to burn. And that's where I can use the pot. That should smolder nicely for actually quite a few hours. Believe it or not, I've used elephant dung before, and it works like a charm for this. Can't get any water out of it for drinking, but you can sure use it for fire tinder. I think elephant dung is my favorite fire carrier. It's worked like a charm. You know, just smoldering in there. It doesn't flame up and burn out on me while I'm on the trail. And the advantage of using the elephant dung is, according to the lore here, a fire with elephant dung in it keeps elephants away. So if that's the case, I'm down with that. So now for some dry firewood. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, actually.
One of my priorities for camp location is based on how much dry firewood is available. Struggling to find sticks to burn is a huge disadvantage in the middle of a dark night.
One habit that I employ always in a survival situation is I do not get the fire going too soon, because getting firewood at night is always a major chore. Now, since there's some elephant dung just over here, I'm going to take advantage of it, bring it over by the fire, keep it smoldering, since it's said to keep them away. That'll work for me. This'll do, I hope. Guess if I'm going to make anything to drink out of this kettle, I should rinse it out after having burning elephant dung inside it. Let's see if I can fire this into flame now. Well, that was fast. Fast and easy. All right. Time to make some of that herb tea they gave me. I'm going to travel today. I don't have any more matches, so I'm going to have to get a fire going somehow at the other end, and I know how I can do this. Now, instead of doing sort of a traditional fire bundle, I might as well make use of the tin can, some cow dung. Essentially, any of the dung that comes from grass-eating animals, ungulates, hooved animals, is essentially just packed down grass, and so then it's left to dry and harden, and you have the perfect fire bundle. So I'm going to get this big patty just smoldering, and then I'll be able to carry it with me to my next location. Now the problem is that right now it's super, super windy, and I can blow sparks and blow things, and you can start a brush fire that way, so I've got to be really careful. There we go, that's all I need. Get this cow dung smoking like this. And I've got myself a modern twist on a fire bundle. It's smoking well. Hopefully it'll last the trip.
Smoking cow dung has worked like a charm to carry my fire to this new location.
A couple hours of daylight left. See what happens tomorrow. Oh, that was quick. So I'm literally going to gather every stick, every twig that's just close at hand. That's my only option.
On one hand, you'd think there would be nothing to grab in the close vicinity. On the other hand, it's surprising just how much raw material is available close at hand.
Probably had to tie and retie this splint a half a dozen times, but it is working. It's working fairly well. I'm pretty sure that search and rescue's been deployed and is out there looking for me, but they're looking for me in the first areas where I started, not in this area. They shouldn't get this information probably for another day. In the meantime, I'll see if I can get a little fire going. Sometimes the best way to get kindling is just to make it. What I'll do is I'll take that fuel. This would probably work really well if I had ethanol or something like that, but all I had was the rum, and it wouldn't hold the flame. So instead, I'll just steal the rum out of it, and this way, use just the spark. And hopefully it will work. Whew, look at that.
I'm working on a new shelter using our raft as our bed, while Bob uses his two-lighter technique to get a new fire going. But in one moment of complacency, Bob changes our luck of having two lighters by accidentally leaving one of them within reach of the flames. The one lighter alone is now useless, which means turning to our survival kits and using up precious fire-starting supplies. We don't talk much tonight. We just get down to work. We have no cave to shelter us this night, but we do have a few of the survival items like an emergency blanket and plastic garbage bag. I continue to motivate the girls to keep working, and I'll hope to get a fire going using a generic off-the-counter survival kit I found in a store somewhere.
This is just one of those little, very inexpensive survival kits, but it does have a little striker in it. Tiny, tiny little thing. And fortunately, we walked by a little pond with some cattail, and I grabbed it. I wasn't gonna leave that behind, so not knowing that I was gonna have this striker, that was a smart move. So there's the toilet paper that was in the little Ziploc baggie, just like the Kane family had, but this was some cattail that I found. So the idea here is I'm gonna add just some of the lip balm to the toilet paper, because it's wax, and it'll hold the flame a little longer. And now I've got my cattail fluff. So I want to fluff up this cattail nice and fluffy. There's the spark. Wish us all luck here. There we go. Simple as that. I think we're in business for the night here.
It can never be understated what a difference it makes during survival to have a fire. Warmth, signaling, and overall comfort is one of the most important things the Kane family said they would have hoped for. And in my case, it's a way to give Monica and Sam more confidence and comfort while we survive out another night in the Oregon forest. Wild horses still roam these beautiful hills of Mongolia.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna maybe start trying to find some firewood so we can have a nice fire tonight. It gets really, really cold, and I'm not too excited about freezing tonight.
Ever wonder what psychedelic mushrooms look like? Now you know. Growing out of manure, and they're all over the place here.
Surviving as two means working to your strengths, and in this case, I can afford to let Logan pick and choose what he wants to put his efforts into.
Here are the horses up on the top of the hill, and they're leaving me something I can use. As long as it's dry.
Fireweed, there's a bunch. Actually right beside me and up ahead. Basically, it's this big patch of it.
Teaching Logan to recognize characteristics of plants and survival materials rather than names is vital to his understanding of how to survive.
Because we're in Mongolia, I've got
a traditional striker, which is got lots of cool factor going on here. All right, so the little pouch contains this little bit of sheep's wool, is what they told me it was. The way this works is this is going to catch a spark. And this is what we're going to strike, right, the rock. You hold this really close to the edge. For me, it's always about follow through, like that. Nice flow and follow through. And then you got to recognize when you've caught a spark. I caught one. So I'm going to put it right in here. Get it right in here. I'm giving it a bit of air. Slow it first. Not too loose, making like a furnace in there.
Knowing how to use traditional methods of fire starting only makes our modern versions that much easier.
This is gonna work. Breathe to the side. There we go. And then get your stuff on it real quick. You gotta get these twigs going. If they don't catch, you're in trouble. You gotta be so on these flames, you look away for a second and you lose the flame.
Bob's going to give fire starting his best shot using a flint striker from the survival kit, but his frustration is going to lead him right to the one precious store of limited matches.
I tried the magnesium, but the grass, even the grass itself, is still too damp. It's not even taken. So, matches?
No, that's a waste of the matches. I'll have to show you. So this is using just the spark, nothing else.
In the name of survival, I couldn't help myself. I had to jump in and stop him from using up the small supply of matches from the kit when I knew it was possible to get a fire going with just a spark.
There we go. Just with sparks only. See how I pressed down, I was digging? That's the difference.
Phenomenal. That's why he's surviving.
One of us is up most of the time to just keep the fire going so we can come out and get warm by it if we need to, and then the other two will try to sleep in shifts. It's still a bit chilly inside the shelter. I think what's going to be needed is a door on this front end here because it's actually warmer to come out and sit by the fire. We're all using hot rocks now. I actually heated up my water bottle, so I've got like a hot water bottle, and then I heated up rocks and putting them in my lap and just sitting here, and it's incredible how warm it gets you. Some of them that are not too hot, you can tuck right into your body. I usually like to put a couple between my legs and just hold them there. And then there's one or two that were too hot to touch your body, but then you put them right beside you and you can feel the heat kind of rolling off onto your face. So, but we're up because we're cold, because everything cooled down. So we restoked the fire, and I want to try this again. What are you going to try and do?
So I was just gonna use the striker and try to strike up some of the grass.
Okay.
I'm already frustrated that he won't take my advice on using the horse dung, and I'm doubtful the brittle weeds he's chosen are the right thickness. But he's going by my initial teaching of watching for characteristics and is making his own judgment call.
I'm not seeing any smoke. I don't think you got anything.
Had it.
Do you want me to give it a shot?
No, I'll try this one, and if not, then you go for it.
But in survival, you live and die by your judgment calls. There's no room for ego, his or mine. And he's proving me wrong.
Hey, right on.
This is what you gotta have ready too. Lots of sticks.
Nice. So that worked? Your method with the grass worked.
We've done our due diligence. We've gotten our firewood. We got our beds made. Now we're going to attempt to start a fire with this little sparker.
Here we go. So we got the great Bill Engvall. with just a spark, just some cattail fluff, and a little bit of grass. And this should work.
You have fire! Oh my God, I did it. I made fire with a sparker.
I think the man's got it. Ha ha! Yeah!
Sweet mother of pearl.
There we go. Now, the magic here is that you saved using a match.
Yeah.
Right? One spark, a little bit of cattail fluff and some grass, and you've got a fire. So in a survival situation, you're not using up a match.
Oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, baby. We're cooking with gas now. This is good. The amount of rain we've been receiving, this is not going to be easy.
Water's coming up higher.
Water's coming up again?
Yeah, so.
Figures. Get rid of all the wet bark first. Down to what I hope is dry wood. What I like to do is carve these down to these fine shavings, but then always leave the last piece like a pencil stick, because then you've got the next layer of kindling. Can't tell if it's wet or dry. It's starting to rain, isn't it? Shoot.
The dampness permeates everything, especially the matches that came inside the survival bracelets.
We've got these 5 little matches, this pathetic little striker, and tape. And I want to light the tape because it should hold the flame really well, and see if I can get things going from there. Oh boy. Nope, not gonna work.
No luck?
It's just not gonna work. The matches are too moist. They're just falling apart. Yep, they're like mush. All right, plan B. The flint striker. I gotta move quickly because it's getting dark on us. I'm gonna shave off tiny shavings of this magnesium, and I'll use these match heads just the same. I'll mix them in because they may still ignite. What I want to do is like a kind of little box to catch the shavings. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but we'll give it a try here. The hardest part of this is always just getting these shavings. And you need a big pile. So this is gonna take a little while. Hang in there. I've got a bad feeling about what I'm going to attempt, even using my trusty flint striker. I waited too long. I should have checked all of this out while I had lots of daylight. And my hope is that I can get the tape to ignite when I hopefully ignite the magnesium shavings with a spark. Come on, baby. Magnesium is not catching. There's just not enough of it. Some of it's already burned up. Let's try this again. I don't think it's gonna work now, though. The magnesium shavings have thinned out, and I'm running out of steam. It's been 2 hours just concentrating on this, not including the splitting and gathering of firewood. Come on, man. Man, oh man. Oh, I would kill for some dry grass right about now. Logan, I don't think we're getting this fire going.
No?
No.
Not worth keep trying, or?
Oh, man. I mean, just trying to gouge all of the magnesium off of this bar is really exhausting. I'm sweating doing this. It's getting dark. What I have to do is I have to sit down. I've done this before, but it takes me, like I spend a good 45 minutes to an hour just getting the pile of shavings and keeping them out of the wind. And
Yeah, this ain't happening.
I can't let this beat me. I've never let a fire beat me. One way, somehow, I'll get it going. Rain or shine, jungle or desert, forest or Arctic, I pride myself on always being able to get a fire going.
These are
I can't give up yet.
just my little hand notes of all the stuff that we've been filming. But even this paper is damp. Still, might be able to pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Even this is it's all too damp. Some of my old tricks are letting me down.
Damn.
While it drips on me right now. All right, we're out for a photography expedition, brought some toilet paper. Let's try this now. Whoa! Got it? Come on. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh no. The tape didn't catch. Is it that damp? You gotta be kidding me. We had flame, dude.
I know, I saw. It's raining again.
Yeah, I can feel the rain on my back. Here we go again. Logan, I need your help. Rip off a piece of duct tape, dangle it in a flame, get it burning. Get it burning, whatever you do. Just get it right in there.
Doesn't want to burn at all.
I know. Everything is so wet. Ah, it's gone, isn't it?
I think so.
That's disappointing. Even Survivorman can have a bad day when it comes to getting a fire going. And here comes the rain.
I'm not one to give up. And yet again, I get a small flame. And this time, the tape is burning too.
All right. Come on. Oh, damn it! You gotta be kidding me! Ah! Oh, man. All right. As you saw, a big gush of water just fell off of the tarp up above, square onto the entire pile of kindling and what was once flame. No words.
Snow, winter, spruce boughs for a floor, fur, fire, keep the body warm. Where eagles fly and the caribou lie is where we've got to be. Oh, the wolf waits there for me and you. And you. Snowshoes and solitudes, what we dream of. A world of wind and water to explore. Keep a fire burning in a shelter. Walk across the ice to our shore. Aurora Borealis so powerfully entertains, burning like a forest fire, wild and untamed. But you dam the rivers and build the roads and cut the old growth down until there's nothing left but ground and us and us. Snowshoes and solitudes, what we dream of. A world of wind and water to explore. Keep a fire burning in our shelter. Walk across the ice to our shore. Snowshoes and solitude. Snowshoes and solitude. Snow, winter, spruce boughs for a floor, fur, fire, keep the soul warm. Snowshoes and solitudes, what we dream of. A world of wind and water to explore. A fire burning in our shelter. Walk across the ice to our shore. Snowshoes and solitudes, what we dream